Hello, I am your astrologer, Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here is your weekly forecast for the week of Monday, June 11th to Sunday, June 17th, 2018. Hey, before I get started, I did just want to mention one thing. The reason why I didn't mention this earlier is because it actually kind of came to me last minute. I wasn't really planning on doing this, but decided that I need to and that I should. And I'm going to do a live webinar on the new moon in Gemini, which is occurring this Wednesday. If you want to learn more about what the new moon is about, what it means for you, for your sign specifically, please do join me on Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time, and 9:30 p.m. Pacific Time, where I am going to talk about new moon in Gemini and break it down by the signs. This to me is the first new moon in Gemini since Saturn left Sagittarius. That's important to me because because Gemini is the opposite sign of Sagittarius. So whatever is affecting Sagittarius will ultimately affect Gemini. I think with Saturn and Sagittarius for the past few years, even though it's no longer there, it was really all about traveling, doing something new, exploring. And while we were trying to do something new, even if it was not easy to do, I think we were neglecting some of the things closer to home. We were neglecting our mind, the way we think about things, integrating all of these new experiences into our life. And I think this new moon is saying, time to go back to the past, to retrieve some of the things that you forgot, that you neglected, to do them better this time around. With Mercury in Cancer to sextile with Uranus, I think there's a real chance to get some good insights on what you need to feel more comfortable emotionally, to build more stability into your life in some way. However, I do think that some of these insights that you receive could be a little bit uncomfortable, especially with Mercury in a square to Chiron at this time, and could be a little bit upsetting for your relationships and for your financial situations. Now that you're getting more of these insights, processing things more in the mind, going back to retrieve some things, your relationships are like, wait a second, I didn't know that this was going on. I didn't know that this was happening. I don't know how I feel about this. That could come in, or maybe a lot of things going on with finances again that could be uncomfortable at this new moon. So if you want to hear more about that, how to handle it, what it means for your sign, again, please click the link down below in my description box to sign up for that. It is on discount for my birthday. So I hope you all enjoy that, and I do hope that I will see you there. Now what I'm going to do this week, I'm actually going to start in the middle of the week and kind of work around there, just because I think what's happening in the middle of the week, kind of a big alignment, a little bit unusual, a lot of things are connected to it. Alright, so that's what I'm going to go for. What I'm going to start with is Mercury on Wednesday, entering Cancer. Okay, what Cancer rules for you is going to be your 12th house of your insides and of your spirituality. So Mercury here being in your 12th house is going to bring your focus inward to what you need internally, what you need spiritually to feel more at whole with your life, to feel more comfortable. Maybe also as well with Mercury and Cancer, figuring out how to overcome the past, how to get rid of old situations or move past old situations so that you can then move forward. I think going on, especially with Mercury in the 12th house too, sometimes it's a little bit internal, maybe wanting to spend a little bit more time alone to think some things through that could be going on here, okay? Now as this happens, as Mercury enters Cancer on Wednesday, it then is almost immediately going to sextile Uranus and Taurus. And that for you, Leo, is going to be in your 10th house of your career, your reputation, and your social standing. And I actually really like this. I like sextiles a lot. I like to think they're positive. So what this could do, I like to think, is bring perhaps some unexpected insights or even some unexpected conversations. I like to think that will help you to make sense of your career, maybe to get more comfortable with your life, with where your life is going, with your reputation, with some things you've been trying to do to put your life in a better place. Because Mercury is in your 12th, like I did say, conversations. These conversations may not be with a lot of other people. They may not be super outward, but I think you may have conversations with yourself that could help you to feel more comfortable with where your life is going. Or maybe you have a conversation with a very, very close, intimate friend or something of the sort who then helps you to feel much better about where your life is going, okay? So just keep that in mind. Even though there are conversations, yours might be a little bit more quieter, a little bit more internal than the other people's, that the other signs. All right, so that's what's happening there on Wednesday. As you're starting to get more comfortable with your career, with where your life is going, with your reputation, with some things you've been working on, Mercury as well, around Thursday, is then going to square Chiron, and Chiron for you is in your 9th house of something new and different that you have not done before. Also of travel, comes into this house, studying, what else? Yeah, and your belief systems, okay? So I think you're starting to get more comfortable with your career, figure things out, where your life is going, what's going on. But perhaps there's some kind of new thing that comes up. Maybe you need to do something new in order to put your life in the right direction. That's happening. Or maybe you need to adjust your belief systems to this place that your life is now going, and perhaps that can be a little bit of a challenge. Maybe you don't want to do something new. Maybe you don't want to be taken out of your comfort zone. You're having a real spiritual moment this week to get right with things, and maybe you don't want to do something else to make sure that everything is going according to plan. And I think that could be a little bit of the challenge that does come in on Wednesday and Thursday here, getting more comfortable with your career and with your life. But maybe having to adjust your belief system so that you can step into this life direction or do something new one more time. Step out of your comfort zone in order to feel better with what's going on. All right, so we have that there. While that's happening, maybe a day or two later on Thursday and Friday, Venus also is going to enter Leo, which is your first house. It's your sign. Also bringing some of the focus to you, to how you can be more comfortable with you, bring more confidence to yourself, work better with relationships. That would be coming in on Thursday and Friday. Now, as Venus is going to move into Leo, it's then going to form a hard aspect to the thing that Mercury was just forming a good aspect to. All right? Because when Venus moves into Leo, it's then going to square Uranus in your 10th house. So perhaps you get some insights earlier in the week about where your life is going. You start to feel more comfortable about your career. You start to feel more comfortable about your life and getting more at peace with it internally. But then maybe the question comes now, not just how you can be more at peace with your life on the inside, but how you can start to live it more externally, out in the world, in a more public way. You know, it's one thing to get right in your heart with what's going on with your life inside, with your life direction, but it's another thing to actually begin to do it, to make it happen, to make it manifest out in the world in a more public kind of sense, and to bring kind of everything together. And I think that could be perhaps part of the challenge that comes in now towards the end of the week is, okay, there's something inside that I've processed, I'm getting better with, but now how do I adjust my life externally to live this life that I've gotten comfortable with? All right, Venus still going to be making a trine to Chiron too in your 9th house. So again, maybe having to do something new. Maybe you're uncomfortable doing something new, still trying to settle into something you haven't done before, still trying to work some things out there. But I think needing to not be afraid to move forward on what you think is best for you and to live more or less some of the insights that came up about your life earlier so that you can start to bring everything together. All right. So that's what I see happening. As that's going on, we still do have Mars in a conjunction with the South Node in Aquarius, and that for you is your 7th house of partnerships and relationships of the one-on-one variety. So maybe you're getting some insights here about your life, about what you need to feel more comfortable with your life and where your life is going, even if it's hard for you to integrate that into who you are, to express that out in the world, even if you still feel a little bit uncomfortable about something new that you're doing. And Mars in the South Node could bring up some frustrations in relationships. Maybe you're getting more insights on what's going on, but it's bringing other people along. That could be a little bit hard. Having to rework your relationships, see your relationships differently now that your life has changed, is going in some other direction. And really needing to, A, be patient as you figure some things out with the people in your life, and B, not be afraid to face the past, face some old issues with people so that you can bring them along with you, perhaps in new and different ways, on some journey that you're embarking on. All right, so there's that happening. While that's going on Wednesday, we then have a new moon here in Gemini, which is your 11th house of your goals, your dreams, and your hopes for the future. So it's not just about getting more comfortable with your career, with your life direction, trying to integrate that more into your life, working with your relationships. It's also about new energy. I like to think with new moons, helping you to see a different future for yourself, to maybe get more excited about the future, to associate with new or different groups of people, or to step into some new and different groups of people that you've been trying to associate with for a while. okay? So I do think there is a positive opportunity for you to see a different future for yourself that you feel a little bit more excited about, even if it's hard to bring other people on board with you to feel really comfortable in your relationships, and even if there are still some more things that you need to do outwardly in order to put your life in a direction that you like and that can help you see a better future, okay? So that's what we've got there. The next thing I want to mention is Neptune. A lot going on this week, stationing to go retrograde next week, and that for you is going to be in your 8th house of changes, endings and beginnings. So maybe there's been some changes you've been making lately in your life, perhaps to do something new. Or maybe there's been some big financial investments that you've been making lately as well. And Neptune here stationing about to go retrograde, I think, is really making you focus here on what do you really want in life? What is really important to you? Trying to figure all of that out. Maybe helping you to make sure that you've been making changes in your life in the right ways that can really help you do the things that you want, that really can resonate with you, to work some of those issues out before you can move forward, all right? So I think that's happening there. And then the last thing that I want to mention is going to occur on Saturday. And on Saturday, Mercury in your 12th house is going to oppose Saturn in your 6th house of your job and your daily routines. So as you're trying to figure out here where you want your life to go, how you can start to move forward to put your life in a better direction, to settle into some life direction you've been trying to create since the beginning of the year, and to bring people on board. As you're trying to figure all of that stuff out, I think there may be some choices or decisions that you might have to make on Saturday about your job, about your daily routines, maybe even about your health, about what you do on the day-to-day, okay? I think you're trying to make some of these choices or decisions, which may require some hard conversations in order to make these choices or decisions, but I think why you're doing those things is so that you can feel more at peace with yourself. You can overcome old chapters so you can step into new ones, okay? And I think before you can do that, before you can feel more comfortable with your life, with where it's going, before you can feel more free to move forward, you really do need to figure out, okay, what's going on with my job and my daily routines? How do I need to organize my job differently, my day different? Do I need to do things different at different times of the day in order to start to feel much better on the inside, okay? And I think if you can make some of the choices that you need to make towards the end of the week, it will then start to help you to maybe live more of this life, a new career, a new life direction that you've been stepping into, and to maybe take care of some things from the past. Some changes, some big financial investments, some stuff with relationships, so that you can hopefully soon, in the next month or two, start to feel like you're making progress, once again treading new territory instead of going back over old stuff. Okay, so that's what I see for you, Leo. Now your card for the week is the Queen of Wands. I actually really love this card. This to me is a very Leo kind of card. It's the Wands, fire sign. Okay, so this to me is a card this week all about sharing your heart, showing people what's on your heart, enjoying life, finding ways to be happy, you know? Yeah. Could be a little hard with Chiron here in your 9th house of something new. Maybe you're feeling like it's hard for you to find the passion in life. It's hard for you to find the excitement doing something you enjoy, but I think really this week, needing to let your heart lead. If you feel like it's been hard for you to be happy, needing to find the small things that make you happy. If you feel like it's been hard for you to work with relationships, needing to let your relationships in on what's going on with you, okay? I think this is a time with this card here to hopefully bring more of the joy back in your life. Hopefully if there's any change that you're making in your life, in your career, hopefully you're doing it to really help you feel better. And I think if you can keep in mind the good things, the positive things that can come out of this change, the vision of your future, how good the future will be, and if you can share that with other people, which you are naturally gifted at doing, I think this week can be really good to help you figure out what you really want, what excites you, and to get other people excited and happy for you as well. All right, so that's what I've got for you this week, Leo. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.